So the 5 basic core archetypes in the quantum human design chart are the manifestors, which we call the initiators, the generators, which we call the alchemists, the manifesting generators, which we call the time benders, the projectors, which we call the orchestrators, and the reflectors, which we call the calibrators. Your type represents one layer of challenge, if you will, one layer of learning, or one layer in the layer cake that is the human design chart, because there's all kinds of layers, right? We have type, we have profile, we have centers, we have circuitry, we have gates. We have then in conjunction with that, we have what I call the 9 resiliency key, the core archetypes that have to be functioning at a high level for us to not self-sabotage. Okay, these 5 core archetypes, your archetype that you're embodying in your chart, is giving you a code, if you will, for what you need to explore and learn and master in order for you to allow yourself to be in greater alignment with the light that is you. By the way, we're all light. The material world is just simply light made manifest at different speeds. Okay? Your human design is how quantum mind communicates through you. Okay, let me go back and say this again. Your human design is how quantum mind communicates through you. So if you go back to what we talked about last week, I said your human design chart isn't about how you do your chart, your type. It's not about using your type to do something a specific way. Your type is the interface between you and the quantum field or life's intelligence. And the more we be our type, the more life's intelligence flows through us, and it becomes the way in which we interact with and get into that feedback loop between the material world and the quantum world, or the material world and quantum mind, or the material world and God, source, whatever word you want to pull in here. The consciousness code, meaning part of the code that the chart brings you, is contained within the entire structure of the chart. So this chart, this is a personal chart. You all have your unique charts. Your unique chart has encoded in it your unique soul curriculum, if you will, the thing you are here to learn about and explore and master as people who are learning to be more in alignment with the light over the course of your life from birth to death. So your code contains your personal code. It also tells you, once you learn how to interpret your experience in the world and understand the chart, it tells you key things you need to explore and learn about in order to wake up to the experience of you being light or you being awakened to the light. So every element in your chart contains a light code. It contains a code for becoming the quantum human expression of light. Every archetype in this chart is showing up literally on a spectrum, on a light spectrum, on a spectrum of possibility. And the more we can move towards consciously choosing the highest expression of every element in the chart. So if we look at the root center, the highest expression of the root center says, I'm in complete and total alignment with divine timing. I trust and I am safe. I know that I am safe, and because I'm safe, I let the right timing take care of itself, and I'm just going to be here waiting for the right timing. And then when the timing is right, I'll interface with whatever comes next correctly according to my human design strategy and type. Activating your light codes always starts first with language. That's why I rewrote all of the vocabulary in the human design system, because when I went back and I looked at it in the lab and I looked at the impact of language on how the body responded, when we used higher frequency language, good quality, high frequency vocabulary words, it actually changed the body's way that it responded to the language, and it increased the body's capacity to hold light and to use light more effectively. There is a Hebrew word that I love. The word is davar. The word for word in Hebrew is the same word as the word for thing. So words and things in Hebrew are the same. I love that because when we start putting language to it, we start to create it in our life, right? Words create, they endure, they allow for unity, they transmit, they're the interface between the divine and the human. They are power, they translate the infinite to the finite, and the other way around too. Words are the code for a story, and the words carry frequencies of energy. When we look at DNA and we use good, powerful words, It actually expands and it expands, and the strands of DNA actually get bigger, and its capacity to hold light increases exponentially. Can actually use language to splice DNA. That's a whole nother story too, but Russian scientists actually programmed the syntax of language into radio frequency waves, and they were able to use those radio frequency waves programmed with that syntax to splice DNA. That's how powerful it is. You know from the work of Dr. Emoto that words affect the crystalline structure of water. We also know that when DNA, we are hypothesizing, scientists are now really beginning to look at that the function of DNA is actually to encode the crystalline structure of water on a cellular level.